Welcome to the Idaho Realtors Podcast, our association's podcast for membership, education, and outreach. I'm the IR Communications Director, Nick Stout, and I'll be your host for this week. On this episode, I interview Realtor Relief Foundation Hope Rising Campaign Chair, Dave Legaz. Dave is one of our speakers at the 2022 IR Convention, and he'll be presenting on the Realtor Relief Foundation during the October 7th General Membership Meeting at Convention. We will also have some last-minute reminders about Convention and the Safe Showings app. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to visit our website, idahorealtors.com, for more information. Also, if you haven't done so, remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Welcome to the Idaho Realtors Podcast. My name is Nick Stout. I'm going to be your host for this week, and I am so lucky to be sitting down with our special guest today, Mr. Dave Legaz. Dave, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Dave is going to be joining us at the Idaho Realtors Convention here, the week of October 4th through the 7th, and he's going to be talking to us at that time a little bit about the Realtor Relief Foundation. So we're just going to sit down today and have a little bit of a one-on-one chat with Dave and get a little bit of a preview for that presentation. So Dave, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. For anyone who doesn't know who you are, could you maybe give us a little bit of your background?
Sure. I am a retired NYPD sergeant. I've been a realtor for 25 years. I retired after responding to 9/11 and losing my partner. My wife was already licensed, so it was an easy transition for me to move into real estate.
Perfect. Well, I thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm excited for our discussion and for your presentation at our membership meeting here at the at the end of convention. So I have a few questions here prepared for you. I'm hoping we can just kind of run through those, if that's okay. My first question for you is, I'm kind of asking any speakers we have coming to town for this one. Have you been to Idaho before? And if so, where have you been?
I have. It was in 2021. Myself, along with several other of Tracy Casper's campaign team, we visited her on the NAR virtual election day. Stayed in Boise, fell in love with the food scene, and the 44 North Huckleberry Vodka was amazing.
That is a favorite.
We also had an opportunity to walk the blue turf at Boise State, which was very cool.
Nice. Okay. A couple of the folks I've talked to actually haven't had a chance to make it to Boise, so I'm happy you made it to our city. That's where we're located. Our IR office is down in Boise, and it's where I grew up. So I'm happy we made a good impression on you. That's for sure.
Yes, it was great.
Awesome. You kind of touched on this in your background, but it's a little bit more of an in-depth question about our industry. Can you maybe tell me why you became a realtor and what you like most about being a realtor?
Yeah, sure. So when my wife was first licensed, I joined her. We were at a small local brokerage in town, and I convinced our broker to convert the office to become a realtor office because I truly value the code of ethics. So we converted our whole office at that time to become realtors.
Awesome. And, is there anything specific you like the most about being a realtor?
That we help buyers. I love first-time home buyers, helping them and see the joy in their face when they see a home when we first walk in, and then when we hand them the keys at closing. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine that's probably a pretty magical moment. It's such a big moment for so many people's lives that, that's exciting to be a part of. For our folks who maybe don't have the information in the background for this, can you maybe tell me a little bit about the Realtor Relief Foundation?
Sure. Realtor Relief Foundation is a nonprofit 501c3 organization led and run by realtors. It was first formed over 20 years ago in the aftermath of September 11, 2001. And it was a moment in history that demonstrated our nation's ability to rise from the rubble and ash in solidarity to support our community. And at that moment, the 2001 NAR leadership team, led by past President Richard Mendenhall, he sprang into action by raising and dispersing $8.5 million to the family of victims of the attacks to assist in paying their mortgage and rent. And then from there, the effort shifted to a full-scale foundation that exists to serve the public after a natural disaster through financial housing assistance. And the natural disasters include and are not limited to hurricanes, floods, wildfires, tornadoes. And it's an incredible process. If a natural disaster strikes a community and a state of emergency is declared, the local estate association applies for the grant from the Realtor Relief Foundation. And once it's approved, the local area uses its realtors to inform the public that funding isn't available, and they actually disperse the funds in public. And the joy of actually giving a check to a victim of a flood or a natural disaster is tremendous. You see the tears on their eyes. Often, the Realtor Relief Foundation is the first one to provide any aid, even before FEMA or state grants.
The Idaho Realtors 2022 convention starts in just a few days. This year's convention will be held at the Coeur d'Alene Resort from October 4th through the 7th. Up to 45 Idaho CE credits will be available throughout the week. If you visit idahorealtors.com/convention, you can see our convention survival guide with information about the agenda, registration, transportation, venues, and more. If you haven't done so already, register today and join us for one amazing week. September is almost over, and September is Realtor Safety Month. Idaho Realtors cares deeply about the safety and security of our members. That is why we have made the Safe Showings app a free benefit to all of our members. Visit idahorealtors.com/safeshowings to claim your free account and register today. Well, it's an incredible program, and it's a wonderful cause that you've worked with, and especially with your history with September 11th, we really appreciate your help and your work on this program. Can you maybe give us a little bit of background on what your role working with Realtor Relief Foundation is?
Sure. I'm completing my second year as the Realtor Relief Foundation campaign co-chair along with Greg Wilborn of Florida. And in the first 20 years, Realtor Relief Foundation raised funds reactively. So in the past, when a disaster struck, RRF would ask for funds and then approve the grants. That all changed in the 20th anniversary with the Hope Rising campaign under NAR President Charlie Oppler. Last year, we raised funds proactively for the first time, and we raised over $8.5 million in 2021, which was amazing. And that success of the campaign launched us into a model of fundraising. So this will ensure that we'll never have to say no to a community in need again. And I'm pleased to say that since its inception, RRF assisted 115 disaster relief efforts, granting over $36 million, helping over 19,000 families. It's pretty amazing, the gift that the realtors give to the community.
That's incredible. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more about what NAR specifically would like our members to know about Realtor Relief Foundation? If there's anything specific at this time that we're trying to get the word out for?
Yeah, that the main message is that RRF exists, and it's something that all realtors should take pride in. Over the past 2 years, we've had doing a tremendous job educating our members of what the foundation is, but there's so much more that needs to be done with our messaging. And the Realtor Relief Foundation directly impacts the communities we serve. It's an excellent example of how realtors go the extra mile, accurately depicting the realtor heart, and that we care for the community by investing in our neighborhoods after a time of need. And we know that we don't know where or when a natural disaster may strike next, but we know that Realtor Relief Foundation, NAR, and the realtors will be ready and able to help to rebuild hope.
Well, thank you so much. What do you hope people take away from your presentation that you're going to be giving at convention?
I hope they take away the pride that the Realtor Relief gives to the realtor. You'll hear more about over the 1,900 families that RRF helped since its inception. And this year, we're on track to help more communities recover than ever before because of our proactive fundraising. This year already, we helped over 1,000 families on their journeys to rebuild after disasters. And could you imagine the impact if every realtor knew and supported its mission? We would have such a great impact on the communities that we serve.
Well, hopefully with this presentation and this podcast, we'll get a few more members active in this program. So thank you so much for sharing this information with us today and sharing your story with us. Is there anything else you'd like to share with other members while I'm talking to you?
I think my last takeaway is that I would want you guys to make a donation and support the cause. Your participation is essential, whether it's $25 or $100. So please join in the spirit of giving and lock hands with thousands of realtors that span the country. You can make a donation by texting RRFID to the number 41444. That's RRFID, no space, to the number 41444. And we know that advocacy marks the identity of a realtor, but we could send a powerful message with those efforts if we pair it with the support of the public in the darkest moments after disaster.
Well, thank you for that. And we will also be including a link to some NAR information about the Realtor Relief Foundation in the description of this video and on our social media platforms when this goes out. So hopefully we will help get some attention and some donations heading your guys' way. Dave, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to seeing your full presentation at our convention.
And me as well. Looking forward to seeing you all.
Thank you for listening to the Idaho Realtors Podcast, our association's podcast for membership, education, and outreach. Thank you to Dave Legaz for joining us for this episode. You'll be able to see Dave's presentation in full at the 2022 Idaho Realtors Convention General Membership Meeting on Friday, October 7th in Coeur d'Alene. My name is Nick Stout, and I'm the IR Communications Director, and I was your host for this week's episode. Remember to visit our website and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider following us on your preferred podcast platform, liking it on social media, and sharing it with your friends and followers. Thank you again for joining us for this week's episode, and take care until next time.